Have you ever tried to climb a flight of stairs only to feel your knees resisting every step? Or maybe you've woken up in the middle of the night with your fingers so stiff you can't even hold a glass of water properly? Joint pain is not just a symptom. It's an invisible thief that steals freedom, energy, and the small joys of everyday life. Worldwide, millions suffer from some form of joint pain, whether it's mild stiffness in the morning or crippling arthritis that changes the way they live forever. What makes it so frightening is that joint pain doesn't come suddenly like a fever. It creeps in slowly, silently weakening the body until even simple tasks become exhausting. Science tells us that joints are the hinges of life. Without them, our bones are just rigid structures, unable to bend, unable to dance, unable to embrace. Each joint is designed with a cushion of cartilage and a thin lining filled with synovial fluid, allowing smooth, painless movement. But when inflammation, injury, or metabolic waste like uric acid disrupts this perfect balance, pain becomes unavoidable. This is not just about discomfort, it's about the quality of life. A person with constant joint pain doesn't just suffer physically. They lose mobility, sleep, social life, and even mental peace. Studies show that people living with chronic arthritis are at a much higher risk of depression and anxiety, proving how closely the mind and body are linked. But here's the truth you need to hear. Joint pain is not the end of the story. It is a signal, a call to action. With the right knowledge, lifestyle choices, medical help, and natural remedies, we can reduce pain, protect our joints, and reclaim our freedom of movement. So today, let's break down the mystery of joint pain. We'll uncover its real causes, dive into why uric acid levels rise and trigger gout, explore proven management strategies, look at research-based medications, discover exercises that heal instead of harm, and even learn about natural oils and massage therapies that bring relief. By the end, you'll have a roadmap to stronger, healthier joints, backed by science and guided by nature. Because you deserve more than just surviving with pain, you deserve to live with strength, energy, and freedom. When we talk about joint pain, the first thought that comes to mind is usually old age. But science reveals a deeper truth. Joint pain is not a condition by itself. It is a symptom. It's the body's cry for attention, signaling that something within the joint structure has gone wrong. To understand it, we must look at the biology of a joint. Every joint is like a finely tuned machine. The cartilage is the cushion that prevents bones from grinding against each other. The synovial fluid is the natural oil that allows smooth, frictionless motion. Around this are ligaments, tendons, and muscles that provide strength and stability. When any of these components are damaged, inflamed, or imbalanced, the first response of the body is pain. Poor diet, smoking, dehydration, and lack of physical activity silently accelerate joint problems. Processed foods, excess sugar, and unhealthy oils increase inflammation. Lack of movement reduces blood flow to cartilage, which already has limited circulation. Over time, this sets the stage for pain. So, the actual cause of joint pain is not one single reason, but a complex web of factors. Mechanical damage, immune dysfunction, crystal deposits, infections, injuries, and lifestyle choices. Understanding these causes is the first step, because without addressing the root, any treatment is only temporary relief. Joint pain is not just about getting old. It is about how we treat our body, how our immune system behaves, how our metabolism works, and how active we remain. Each cause tells us something unique. And the good news is, once we understand the cause, we can take specific action to reduce the damage. There is a kind of joint pain that arrives suddenly, like an ambush in the night. One moment you feel fine, and the next your big toe, ankle, or knee is burning, swollen, and so tender that even the touch of a bedsheet feels unbearable. This is the cruel reality of gout, and at the heart of it lies uric acid. To understand why uric acid rises, we need to look closely at how the body processes one of its most basic substances, purines. Purines are natural compounds found in every cell of the body and also in many foods we eat. They are part of our DNA and RNA, which means that every time cells break down, purines are released. Normally, the body handles this quite well. Purines are broken down into uric acid, which then dissolves in the blood, passes through the kidneys, and finally leaves the body through urine. This cycle keeps everything balanced. But sometimes this balance is disturbed. Either the body makes too much uric acid or the kidneys fail to remove enough of it. When this happens, uric acid levels in the blood rise above the normal range, and that is when the real trouble begins. At first, the excess uric acid may not cause any symptoms, but once the blood becomes saturated, sharp, needle-like crystals start to form and settle inside the joints. The immune system sees these crystals as invaders and launches an inflammatory attack. White blood cells rush to the site, releasing chemicals that create redness, swelling, and excruciating pain. This is why gout attacks come suddenly, often at night, and why they feel so intense. The body is literally in a battle against crystals lodged in the joint. Now the question is, why does uric acid rise in the first place? One of the biggest reasons is diet. Foods high in purines, such as red meat, organ meats like liver, and seafood such as sardines and anchovies, flood the body with raw material for uric acid production. Alcohol, especially beer, adds another layer of stress because it not only increases purine intake, but also makes it harder for the kidneys to excrete uric acid. Sweetened drinks with fructose are another hidden culprit. Fructose increases the production of purines inside the liver, leading to a higher uric acid burden. But food is only part of the story. The kidneys play a central role, and if they are not working efficiently, uric acid accumulates. People with chronic kidney disease often develop high uric acid levels, not because they are eating too many purines, but because their kidneys cannot eliminate waste properly. Even mild dehydration can temporarily reduce kidney filtration, which explains why people who don't drink enough water are at greater risk of gout attacks. Obesity is another important factor. Fat tissue does more than store energy. It is biologically active and produces compounds that interfere with uric acid metabolism. Overweight individuals often have both increased production of uric acid and decreased excretion. Research studies consistently show that losing weight, even modestly, can significantly lower uric acid levels and reduce the frequency of gout attacks. Genetics also plays its part. Some people inherit a tendency for their kidneys to be less efficient at clearing uric acid. Family history is often a strong clue, and this explains why gout sometimes appears in people who are otherwise living a reasonably healthy lifestyle. Medications are another overlooked factor. Diuretics, which are commonly prescribed for high blood pressure and heart disease, reduce the kidney's ability to excrete uric acid. Similarly, low-dose aspirin and certain cancer treatments can raise uric acid levels. This is why doctors carefully monitor patients who are at risk of gout when prescribing these drugs. Modern research has also uncovered connections between uric acid and metabolic disorders. People with diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol, the so-called metabolic syndrome, are more likely to have elevated uric acid. It is almost as if uric acid is not just a byproduct, but a warning sign of deeper metabolic imbalance. Some scientists even suggest that high uric acid might play a role in triggering these conditions, though the debate continues. Another reason for the rise in uric acid is excessive cell turnover, as happens in certain cancers or during chemotherapy, where massive amounts of purines are released into the bloodstream at once. Even intense physical exertion or fasting for too long can tip the balance, leading to temporary spikes in uric acid. What makes the story of uric acid so complex is that not everyone with high levels develops gout. Some people carry high uric acid for years without any symptoms. Scientists believe this has to do with individual differences in crystal formation, immune response, and overall health of the joints. But once the crystals do form, they can cause not only pain but also long-term damage, gradually eroding cartilage and bone. The painful flare-ups are just the surface of the problem. Silent deposits of uric acid crystals can build up over time, creating lumps called tophi around the joints and even in soft tissues like the ears. These tophi are not only disfiguring but also destructive, slowly eating into bone and tissue if left untreated. So when we ask why uric acid increases, the answer is not a single reason but a web of factors. Diet rich in purines, alcohol and sugary drinks, kidney function, obesity, genetics, medications, metabolic disorders, and sometimes even medical treatments. It is the combination of these elements that pushes the body beyond its threshold. The important point to remember is that uric acid is not an enemy in itself. In normal amounts, it even has antioxidant properties and helps protect the body from oxidative stress. The problem begins only when balance is lost, when the level in the blood rises too high, and when crystals start to invade the joints. Understanding these reasons is critical, because once we identify the specific trigger in a person's life, whether it is diet, weight, dehydration, or medication, we can take targeted steps to control it. And that is where management begins, which we will now explore in detail. Living with joint pain can feel like carrying a hidden burden. Every step, every stretch, every attempt to rise from a chair can become a reminder of the body's limits. Yet doctors and researchers agree on one encouraging truth. Joint pain, no matter its cause, can be managed. And management is not only about taking pills, it is about reshaping the way we live, eat, move, and care for our bodies. The first and most fundamental step in managing joint pain is understanding inflammation. Inflammation is the body's natural defense, a fire meant to heal injuries and fight infections. But when this fire burns too long or too intensely inside the joints, it destroys more than it protects. Modern lifestyle, filled with processed food, sugar, and unhealthy oils, acts like fuel for this fire. That is why the foundation of management begins with diet. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, such as salmon, mackerel, sardines, walnuts, and flax seeds, have been shown in multiple clinical studies to calm joint inflammation. These healthy fats interfere with inflammatory pathways, reducing the production of molecules that trigger swelling and pain. Spices like turmeric, containing curcumin, have gained global attention because trials reveal they work almost as effectively as some anti-inflammatory drugs without the same side effects. Ginger, with its bioactive compounds, offers similar benefits, gently soothing inflammation from within. On the other hand, processed foods, red meats, deep-fried snacks, and sugary drinks act like gasoline poured over burning embers. They promote the release of inflammatory chemicals, aggravating arthritis and gout. Research from Harvard and other leading institutions consistently confirms that people who follow a Mediterranean-style diet, rich in vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, olive oil, and fish, report less joint pain and stiffness compared to those who follow a Western diet filled with refined carbs and processed meat. Hydration is another often overlooked pillar of management. Cartilage, the cushion inside the joints, is nearly 70% water. Without enough hydration, this cushion dries out and loses its shock-absorbing ability. People who drink inadequate amounts of water often experience more stiffness and discomfort. Clean, mineral-rich water not only hydrates but also supports kidney function, helping the body flush out excess uric acid and toxins that could worsen joint problems. Weight management is one of the most powerful tools against joint pain, particularly in the knees and hips. Studies show that every extra pound of body weight adds nearly 4 pounds of pressure on the knee joint when walking. This means losing even 10 pounds can reduce 40 pounds of stress from the knees, easing pain dramatically. Beyond the mechanical relief, weight loss also reduces inflammation, since fat tissue itself produces inflammatory chemicals that worsen arthritis and gout. Movement is medicine. Although pain often tempts people into avoiding activity, the truth is that immobility makes joints stiffer and weaker. Gentle, low-impact exercises like walking, cycling, swimming, and yoga encourage the circulation of synovial fluid, nourishing cartilage and keeping it flexible. Tai Chi, an ancient practice of slow, deliberate movement, has been studied in arthritis patients, showing remarkable improvement in balance, pain reduction, and mental well-being. Even simple daily stretching can maintain range of motion and prevent stiffness from locking joints in place. But management does not end with exercise and food. Rest is equally vital. Joints need time to recover from stress, and good sleep is the body's most powerful healing tool. During deep sleep, the body releases growth hormones and repairs tissues, including cartilage and muscles around the joints. Chronic sleep deprivation, on the other hand, raises inflammation, making pain worse. Beyond lifestyle, natural remedies provide additional support. Herbal teas such as green tea, chamomile, and ginger tea deliver antioxidants that reduce oxidative stress in joint tissues. Boswellia serrata, also known as Indian frankincense, has been studied extensively for its anti-inflammatory properties, especially in osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. Clinical trials suggest it can reduce swelling and improve mobility within weeks of consistent use. Another management strategy lies in protecting joints during daily activities. Ergonomic chairs, proper footwear, and supportive cushions can reduce stress on joints during work and rest. People with arthritis often find relief by using warm compresses in the morning to ease stiffness or cold packs at night to reduce swelling after activity. Stress management is also part of the picture. Psychological stress increases cortisol and other chemicals that fuel inflammation, making joint pain worse. Practices like meditation, breathing exercises, and mindfulness are not only calming for the mind, but also healing for the body. Studies from major medical centers show that patients who combine stress management with physical therapy experience less pain and greater improvement than those who ignore the mental side of the condition. Managing joint pain also means paying attention to deficiencies. Vitamin D and calcium are essential for bone health, and their lack can accelerate joint problems. Magnesium supports muscle function, reducing cramps and stiffness. Antioxidants like vitamin C help protect cartilage from breakdown. Correcting these deficiencies with food or supplements can make a noticeable difference over time. It is important to recognize that management is not a single action but a combination of choices, each building upon the other. A person who drinks enough water but ignores diet may still suffer. Someone who exercises regularly but eats inflammatory food may not improve. True management comes when all these pillars, food, hydration, movement, rest, stress balance, and natural remedies, work together. Most importantly, management is not about temporary relief. It is about prevention, protection, and long-term healing. By taking responsibility for daily choices, people can regain control of their lives and keep joint pain from defining their future. The body has an incredible ability to heal if given the right environment. And with consistent care, the fire of inflammation can be tamed, mobility can be restored, and the joy of movement can return. There is an old wisdom in medicine that nature heals in ways that science only later confirms. When it comes to joint pain, this wisdom shines brightly. Long before the invention of modern pills, people around the world relied on plants, roots, barks, and oils to soothe aching joints. Today, many of these remedies have been studied and validated, showing us that ancient practices carry real therapeutic power. One of the most widely known natural remedies for joint pain is turmeric. For centuries in Asia, turmeric has been used not only as a spice, but as medicine. The golden pigment, curcumin, is a potent anti-inflammatory compound. Modern studies have shown that curcumin works on the same inflammatory pathways as some NSAID drugs, reducing pain and stiffness in arthritis patients. Drinking turmeric tea or golden milk, or even taking it as a crude powder mixed with warm water, can help reduce the fire of inflammation in the joints. Another powerful gift of nature is ginger. This common kitchen root carries compounds called gingerols and shogols, which act as natural pain relievers. Research shows ginger extract can reduce joint swelling and ease mobility in people with osteoarthritis. A simple cup of ginger tea, prepared by boiling fresh slices in water, delivers these compounds gently into the body. For those who prefer topical use, ginger oil, when massaged onto sore joints, improves circulation and reduces stiffness. Boswellia serrata, often known as Indian frankincense, has been treasured in Ayurveda for centuries. The resin of this tree contains boswellic acids, which block specific enzymes responsible for inflammation inside the joints. Clinical trials in India and Europe have shown that Boswellia extracts can significantly reduce knee pain and improve walking distance in osteoarthritis patients. Even chewing the raw resin was a common practice in villages, and today capsules and teas made from Boswellia are widely used as herbal medicine. Willow bark is another remarkable crude drug, sometimes called nature's aspirin. It contains salicin, a compound that the body converts into salicylic acid, the same chemical family as aspirin. For centuries, people brewed willow bark tea to relieve joint pain, headaches, and fever. Modern studies confirm that willow bark has pain-relieving effects, though it should be used carefully in people who are sensitive to aspirin. In the cold mountains of Europe, a plant called devil's claw grows wild. Its roots contain harpagicide, a compound studied for its ability to ease pain in the back, hips, and knees. Extracts of devil's claw have shown benefits in reducing osteoarthritis pain and improving function. Traditionally, the root was boiled into a tea or dried and powdered. Today, many herbalists still recommend devil's claw tea for people who suffer from chronic stiffness. Herbal teas play a soothing role not only by delivering active compounds, but also by calming the nervous system. Chamomile tea is a gentle relaxant that reduces muscle tension around the joints, easing discomfort. Green tea, rich in polyphenols like EGCG, is known to protect cartilage from degeneration and slow down inflammation. Drinking 2 to 3 cups daily can be a simple yet effective practice for long-term joint health. Beyond teas and crude drugs, oils and massage therapies provide direct relief to painful joints. Sesame oil has been used in Ayurveda as a base for warm massages. Its natural compounds nourish tissues and improve circulation. When combined with herbs like ashwagandha or turmeric in medicated oils, it becomes even more potent. Massaging warm sesame oil into stiff joints not only reduces pain, but also relaxes the surrounding muscles. Mustard oil is another traditional remedy, particularly in South Asia. Rich in allyl isothiocyanate, it has a warming effect on the skin and underlying tissues. Massaging mustard oil into the knees or shoulders stimulates blood flow, reduces stiffness, and gives a comforting sensation of heat that eases deep pain. Eucalyptus oil, with its sharp aroma, contains eucalyptal, a compound that penetrates tissues and acts as a natural analgesic. Rubbing diluted eucalyptus oil on swollen joints creates a cooling effect, reducing both pain and swelling. Many pain relief balms around the world borrow this oil for its proven soothing power. Castor oil has also been used in both Ayurveda and Unani medicine for joint health. Applied warm, it helps reduce inflammation and lubricate stiff areas. Some traditions even recommend tying a warm castor oil pack around the knee overnight to allow deeper absorption. Olive oil, often celebrated for its heart benefits, also acts as a natural anti-inflammatory when used topically. Massaging extra virgin olive oil into sore joints provides oleocanthal, a compound shown to block inflammation in a way similar to ibuprofen. Combined with a warm compress, it delivers comfort while nourishing the skin. The practice of massage itself carries healing power. Gentle, rhythmic movements stimulate circulation, reduce swelling, and relax the nervous system. Whether using sesame oil, mustard oil, or blends infused with herbs, massage reconnects the body with the sense of relief that pain often steals away. Modern studies on massage therapy confirm that people with arthritis who receive regular oil massages experience less pain and better mobility than those who rely only on medication. Millions of people are walking this same journey. When you share your experiences, your struggles, and your victories, you light the way for others who are still in darkness. Together we can build a community that does not see joint pain as the end of freedom, but as the beginning of learning how to care for our bodies more deeply. If you found value in this journey we took together today, if something you heard gave you hope, or reminded you that healing is possible, I invite you to take one small action right now. Share this video with a friend or family member who may also be struggling. Leave your thoughts or your own remedies in the comments so that we can all learn from each other. And if you'd like more science-based stories about natural healing, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every click of support helps this message reach more people who deserve to know that pain is not the final chapter. Because in the end, this is about more than joints. It is about living with dignity, with movement, with joy. It is about remembering that even when life feels heavy, healing is always within reach. Sometimes in a root, sometimes in a cup of tea, sometimes in a gentle walk. The body is wise, nature is generous, and together they can help us reclaim the freedom that pain once tried to take away. So take a deep breath. Take that first step, and remember, you are stronger than your pain.